Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today, I channeled Kurt Cobain. Now, other than being a huge fan of Nirvana and knowing that he was with a chick called Courtney Love and they had a kid together, I think a girl. I'm not even real sure about that. I don't know a whole lot about him, right? I mean, I do know that he did the documentary on the kids, or started to, with some other people because of some deep dives that I and Jen had worked on. But I really don't know a whole lot about him. So, in doing this channeling, I actually learned a lot, I think, and I'm going to leave it up to you to decide. And hopefully, you can fill me in where I'm lost on some of the things that he told me. Okay. And Jen, this is for you. Happy birthday. So, he starts out um, definitely feeling like a seedy old soul to me. Okay. An old soul in a new world, a volunteer, a starseed, someone who had a lot of difficulty acclimating with this energy that this world offers. So his is a sad and tragic story in a lot of ways, but in other ways, very enlightening because his perspectives on things, though pessimistic, were very eye opening to me, and I hope also to you. So part of this is written where I channeled and just wrote, and then the other half of it is audio with pictures of him throughout his life because he really wanted to just use my voice to speak. And so I allowed him to do that. So the first portion will be me reading what I channeled, and then the second portion will be my voice, allowing him to speak. So he says he always hated people's energy. He couldn't adapt to it and how different it was from his own. And he confirmed that, yes, he was a volunteer, but more of the tragic story type rather than the happy, enlightened, spiritually blissed version. And then one of the first things he said to me was, just when I found my purpose, a reason to live, is when everything came crashing down. But then he goes into talking about how he was fascinated with medical stuff, um, cremations, anatomy, death, life. He was obsessed with anatomy charts and um, fake cadavers and fake fetuses and fake organs, all of the things that you would buy in a medical supply store. Um, he went as far as saying that he over purchased, searching for answers to this life's questions, always thirsty for knowledge, and that little treasures from secondhand stores, letting things call to him, made it more special and precious for him to obtain and possess because it created a connection that he craved, a real connection, a sentimental value to something or someone. And apparently, this was something he had always sought out, he had always searched for. He says, I always felt like I had a mission. I just never knew really what it was until right before the end of my journey this time around. But even the tabloids sort of became an enemy to me after I got rich and popular. Half of me always wanted to sue them, and the other half felt that it would just be a waste of energy and money. But they'd play shoddy quality shit on the radio, make us sound like shit, do it on purpose because they were upset that we didn't want to play the game. And it would really piss me off. Sometimes lawyers did have to get involved because of this bullshit, because the world shouldn't have to be this way. Um, he says, okay, which is bullshit because the world shouldn't have to be this way. People shouldn't always have to protect or defend themselves. And it don't matter if you're poor or you're rich. They fuck with us all. If you're not at the very top, you're getting fucked with. The only difference I ever had with my fans or anybody was that I just had some more money than they did. The emotional shit, the mental, the societal struggles, they were all still very much there. And my greatest accomplishment and the catalyst for my cause, for learning my purpose, discovering my real reason for being here, my real mission, was bringing a child into this world. The one I had always deemed cruel and ugly, the world. He never thought he wanted to have children because this world was so ugly and the energy was so bad. But then once he did, it changed everything for him. So he says, seeing your own child born makes you want to fight for them, makes you want to make this world a better place for them to live in. So that's what I started damn doing. Me and some friends, we started finding things out, more and more things, and we wanted to bring awareness to this. We certainly had no idea just how dangerous that would prove to be. No matter how admirable of an idea it seems. And then he took a long pause. He says, man, I loved my family, my little family. I don't care what rumors they spread. We had something real, tangible, beautiful, and safe. I had never felt love before until then. It's the only time in my life that I felt any sense of good in the world, really. And as you can understand, I'm still quite cynical. It's such a waste, the way people live. But I see now that for many, it's just really fucking hard to step over that line. It's still a real shame, though. There's so much potential for everybody to live happily, but instead they're caught up in this ego driven bullshit that they can't even see how selfish or hate generated they really are. Most people are just ugly. Their energy, their secret feelings, their secret thoughts, their secret actions. They wear a mask. They pretend to be somebody that they're not. And if you saw them on the inside the way I can now, which I always sensed it, but now I know it for sure, it still makes me really sad, man. Really cynical. It makes me wonder if we'll ever make it as a race. Wake up. I guess we all serve our purpose, though, right? And he shrugs. He says, I was in constant chaos with my gut, my stomach. Nobody could figure it out to help me. They just throw more drugs and tests at me, and nothing ever really worked. I know now that all of it was me. It was me being nervous, being stressed, not listening to my gut, my instincts and stuff. It's all really just psychosomatic due to your thought process, my thought process. I made myself sick. So at this point, this is a huge message for me that I want to tell people. After I left my body, I knew this message had to be shared, but until I never thought that I was going to get the chance. The big takeaway for people isn't so much on what is going on in the world, because that'll all get fixed and worked out itself. It's not even about what really happened around my death. It's that people need to understand that All of our illnesses come from us. It comes from our thoughts, our emotions. All that shit governs the way the body reacts to our environment. Like, take us 80 kids, for example, right? Lead paint, 20-foot metal slides, 15-foot monkey bars. We all fell. We all got burnt or hurt. Hell, we probably all ate lead paint, but we survived because we were resilient. Your thoughts and your emotions, though, your feelings, that's what gets you. And it can really wreck you, destroy you even. So he also wanted to make note that he was trying to always pay it forward by being in a position where he could donate money to help people. He named a few things. Something called the FAIR organization, FAIR, and I don't know what that is. But it had something to do with injustices of certain issues that get overlooked and to help protect people and deliver the truth on those subjects. So I'm going to do some research to look into that because I don't really know what that is. And if any of you do, please leave it in the comments below. And now I'm going to play the audio. Well, I'm sure at this point, everybody's wondering, like, how I really came to my end. And I guess in a lot of ways, I couldn't really figure that out and piece it together myself until at the very last minute. Like, I had a feeling that it was going down the way I thought it was, but I still wasn't sure. You see, I only had a small group of people that I kept around me, my guys, my band, and my girl. And those were the people that I really trusted and really loved. So, when they went behind my back and started plotting against me, I really just didn't want to believe it. I just couldn't believe it at first. So I guess I need to back up just a little bit to explain where it really started going south. I made the mistake of telling a couple of the guys what I had been working on. I didn't really tell Courtney that much because I didn't want her to know and worry or be scared for me or even be scared for our child. So I was trying to spare her by keeping it from her. But she knew something was up, and she asked a lot of questions of everybody. And like I said, I had made the mistake of telling a couple of the guys. And so they were like, dude, that's deep, that's heavy. That might not be such a good idea. Are you sure you want to do this? On and on. I was like, yeah, no, I got it. I got this. There's a lot of us, a lot of us are working on this project together, so it's going to be cool. It's going to be fine. Well, they told Courtney. And Courtney really didn't like it. She didn't confront me directly over it. And that's something I had to figure out later. And I guess in hindsight, she thought she was doing what was best to protect her and the baby by doing what she did with me. She was trying to stop me. And well, I guess they succeeded. But it began with them telling me they were doing an intervention. Courtney and I had both been using a lot of stuff. You know, rock and roll. But they said that it was going to be an intervention. They took me and put me in one rehab and said they took Courtney and put her in another. And I hadn't talked to her about it. I didn't know what the hell was really going on. So I freaked out. And I escaped the damn place. Snuck out, jumped a wall, took off. And when I took off, these goons started coming for me. And I didn't know who they were. That part really confused me even more, because here I am trying to figure out where Courtney's at, thinking they put both of us into some crazy place for rehab and, you know, like basically kidnapped her. And little did I know then that she's the one that called them thugs to come looking for me, you know. I managed to evade them for about 4 days. They caught up with me though. And well, we don't need to go into details, but bottom line, she succeeded in stopping me by any means possible. Now, I don't want people hating on her or hating on my family or the guys, because I don't feel like any of them really intended for it to go that far. I just can't believe that's true. I feel like that they just wanted to stop me from continuing to work on this project. You know, hush me up, get me to lay low, chill out. I don't think they really wanted to whack me or anything. I don't think she knew what was going to happen when them dudes caught up with me. That's what she wrestles with. That's why she'll tell everybody that she takes the blame for it. Because she called that hit, if you will. She called that on me. And I guess she just wasn't real clear about how they should proceed once they get me. Or maybe she was, and that's something I'm just not meant to really know. Bottom line, just because you're on the other side and you can see it from a new perspective, doesn't always change the way you feel about it. You know? Doesn't always make it easier or make it hurt less. Because it's still a bummer, you know? It still bums me out. It still hurts. These were the people that I trusted. Like, literally trusted with my life. And they took it from me. Just when I had finally found a real purpose, you know? Like my mission. I finally found my mission in life. I wanted to help make the world a better place. Not just save my own kid, but everybody else's too. I know what it's like to grow up with a suck childhood. Mine wasn't nothing compared to the shit they go through. I don't want that for nobody. So like I said, I'm still a bit cynical about it. My truest hopes are that, you know, this whole waking up thing really happens. For everybody's sake. Because, man, this world ain't cool to live in right now. Or at least not when I was there. It's really kind of cold and cruel. And that sucks. You know? So yeah, people waking up, that would be a real game changer for everything. Because, you know, the bad guys, they're going to get caught. All that stuff's coming out. Who knows? Maybe my death in this lifetime was a catalyst for part of the plan. I just sure hope it wasn't all a waste. I guess all that remains to be seen. But I do appreciate everybody. Appreciate the fans. I never realized how popular we really were. I always thought we were kind of small fries, you know, small town. I never really saw how much we mattered, or I mattered, to people until after I died. And that's a damn shame, too. Damn shame that we can't see what other people see in us. Probably would have helped a lot of my stomach issues. Well, you know what they say. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Anyway, thanks for letting me share my story. Thanks for being a voice for people who have more pieces to a puzzle and don't know how the hell to share them. That's cool. That's real cool. So, in conclusion here, like I said, I really don't know that much about him. I'm not one of those kind of people that kept up with that kind of stuff. Hell, I could barely remember names of bands and which band sang which song. I mean, yeah, I know Nirvana, right? I know their songs. They were some of my favorite music, still are. But aside from that, I really truly don't know that much about them. So I have questions, and maybe you can help me to fill in the blanks. Was there an intervention that happened? Was he really put in rehab somewhere? Was Courtney? Did they go at the same time? Did he jump a wall and escape from some rehab place? Was he missing for 4 days? I mean, who knows these details? Please put it in the comments because I need to put some pieces together. And I don't have a lot of time to do the research on all these different subjects. And also, did he have stomach issues? Because he seemed to put a lot of emphasis on that. And I don't really know. So please, if you know something, share it in the comments. Let's have a conversation about this. Let's put the dots together ourselves. Together. And thank you for watching. So I just want to say that I feel like he was, like a lot of people, a very troubled soul that never quite acclimated to this energy here on planet Earth. Um, there are many starseeds or volunteers that come here that end up succumbing to drug addiction or alcohol addiction or um, even harming themselves or taking their own life because they just can't figure this world out. It just feels so bad, so heavy, um, so unfamiliar that they don't know how to adjust to living here. And I can relate to that. All star seeds, all volunteers can relate to that because we have all experienced that feeling of confusion and not fitting in and being very aware and witnessing how ugly people can be and selfish and greedy and the way that they'll just lie even when there's no reason to lie. And they don't choose kindness and they don't choose love and they don't choose fairness before they would choose other things. And that's very hard for us to understand because we're not built that way. We're not equipped to live in that type of a world. We resonate more with genuine, sincere, kind, compassionate, willing to have a conversation and understand type energy, not deceitful, stab you in the back, lie about everything, cheat, steal, use yours instead of theirs kind of an attitude, you know, take people for granted and all of that. We're not used to that energy. So I get it. I really get it. And to channel him, I really felt so much closer to him in a strange kind of way because like I said, I don't do the fan stuff. I don't do the stardom stuff, you know. I don't need to go to those concerts and I don't need to keep up with what the tabloids say about people or what's on Entertainment Tonight or Inside Edition or whatever. I don't watch that crap. I don't like, I mean, I know to some people it's entertainment, it's not crap, and I don't mean to be offensive. I'm just saying it to me, it's just noise, right? It's not something I'm interested in. Um, but to channel him was different, you know, because you're relating to the soul, you're relating to the character, the avatar that was here, and the struggles that he went through that were very real and relatable. And I find it interesting that he wasn't even fixated like a lot of spirits would be on how he left this earth. He's not transfixed on that. That wasn't the big thing for him. For him, the big thing was trying to help other people still, you know, help us to survive that are still here, how to navigate, how to manage, how to be healthier, um, by minding our thoughts and our feelings. And I find that to be really beautiful, you know. Um, I channel a lot of different types of people or characters, if you will, and all of them have their own flavor, their own essence. Um, there was something truly deep and sentimental for me about channeling him that I really didn't expect. And I'm even kind of emotional right now just talking about it because I'm feeling how I felt when I channeled him, and he really just wants to see good in the world. Which is really beautiful. Of all the things that he could still feel or want to express or want to tell about or tell on, there was no sense of needing justice or repercussion or validation or anything like that for him. It was genuinely just wanting good in the world and not very, very hopeful about it at that, you know, very cynical. He was very cynical, but he's still trying. He's still trying to reach people, even though he's cynical. And that speaks volumes to me. Um, yeah, he's a really beautiful soul. And it was absolutely an honor for me to channel him. So, Jenn, even though this was my gift to you for your birthday, because you really wanted me to do this, I want to say thank you because it was truly a gift for me. And hopefully everyone watching. Thank you.
Every day looks bright again today. Our dreams are for real. The one thing I've learned from the bridges I burned is let your love roam free of fear and breathe in the air. We're free to care. Just breathe in the air. Don't you be scared. When you finally see how to set yourself free, live your life free of fear. Together we'll be a vision to see. Live our lives free of fear and breathe in the air. We're free to care. Just breathe in the air. Don't you be scared. Whoa, yeah, we were supposed to be more than we are. Whoa, yeah, we were supposed to be more than we are. So breathe in the air. We're breathing the air. Oh, don't you be scared. Whoa, yeah, we were supposed to be more than we are. Whoa, yeah, we were supposed to be more than we are, more than we are, more than